Hi, my name is Laura Conley. I'm a board member at ACC, and I love literature of all types. Storytelling Hour with Leanna Ma is a new ACC activity for seniors who enjoy being read to and are looking for a way to stay connected with other people. The stories that Leanna has chosen are interesting and engaging and offer you an escape from your day-to-day activities. I love hearing stories all my life. One of my fondest school memories was our teacher who had us put our heads down on our desk after lunch and she'd read to us. When my mother-in-law's memory issues had increased and she was a resident at ACC Care Center, reading was a way to still connect with her when we really couldn't have conversations anymore. Our reading seemed to comfort her, and that comforted us. I myself still find it so relaxing and heartwarming to listen to stories like this on the radio. You and your loved ones will love Storytelling Hour with Leanna Ma. I hope you can join us.
So from here, all we have to do is swing the arms up. They're going to come up to about shoulder height. You inhale, and now as you exhale, you begin to exhale, you visualize a breeze blowing in toward you, and you catch the breeze in your hands. And you let it come down as you exhale. Hello, I'm Robert Nakashima, and I am excited to be teaching a new class at ACC called Tai Chi for those with limited mobility. Now, this class has been specially designed for people with a variety of conditions, anywhere from completely seated class to standing with limited shifting, and I'll show you every step of the way. The one thing I want to emphasize, though, is if you just watch the class and follow, it will be easy to learn. So it's designed that way so that you don't have to tax your memory, you don't have to memorize a lot of complex movements. So I'll be taking you through it every step of the way, and we're all going to have fun with it. So hope to see you then.
People who are Buddhists are familiar with the Sanskrit word bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is a person who strives to be the best they can be in all aspects of life, and at the same time helping others do the same. I use this term for my class because I consider myself to be a bodhisattva of the earth. Now, the word yoga is typically defined in two ways. In one definition, it is defined as union or yukti in Sanskrit, and the other is mental peace. It is the union of body and mind harnessed by the breath. The form that I practice and teach is essentially called Vinyasa Yoga. It is also known as flow yoga. Vinyasa is a style yoga characterized by stringing postures together so that you transition from one to the other seamlessly using your breath. The movement of various postures symbolizes the impermanence of life, that nothing stays the same. Changes are constant. Or one moment of life, you could be in one situation, and in the next moment, you could be in a different one. The benefits of yoga are numerous. It improves flexibility and posture. It builds muscle, strength, cardiovascular capacity, and proper breathing. It helps develop endurance, perseverance, and determination. It relieves the stress and anxieties. Mindfulness, calmness, and your self-awareness are also added to the benefits of practicing yoga. I hope you will consider taking this class and experience this journey. Until then, namaste.
Good evening and welcome to ACC Senior Services and our first concert of the new year. I'm Scott Okamoto, the Community Outreach and Marketing Manager at ACC Maple Tree Village. Since the start of this pandemic, ACC has come up with creative ways to keep seniors engaged and connected with the community. Our online classes, workshops, and concerts have made a big difference in their lives. Our fitness classes have really taken off, where attendance has been between 20 and 50 students per session. More than 300 attended last month's Home for the Holidays event, and the recording was watched more than 5,000 times on YouTube and Facebook. However, not everything we do online is such a big production. We have support groups and workshops for caregivers. 2 weeks ago, we started Storytelling Hour with Liana Ma. Liana is the Life Enrichment Supervisor at ACC's Maple Tree Village. On Mondays at 2 p.m., Liana sits down and reads short stories to her audience on Zoom and then engages them in a conversation. Some of them have cognitive issues, but with Liana's help, they're still able to use their imagination and express themselves. ACC's online programs are offered to you at no charge. So if you would like to be a sponsor or underwriter of this wonderful program that is impacting the community, please contact Lisa Poon at ACC. So tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce Matthew Grasso and Mian Grasso from Davis, California. Together, they are known as Duo7. Welcome to ACC, gentlemen.
Great, thanks for having us here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Before you start, just tell us a little something about yourselves and the special instruments and music that you'll be playing tonight.
You want to take it away, man?
So I'm Mian Grasso. I'm currently a student at ARC studying music. And this instrument we play is called the extended 7-string guitar, which is a design that my father came up with several years ago.
This particular instrument, this is probably about 20 years ago, and I was rethinking what the guitar could or couldn't do. I worked with luthier Greg Byers initially to come up with a kind of a prototype. And the guitar itself has 7 strings, which is not that much out of the ordinary. I mean, throughout history in different regions, there have been guitars with more than 6 strings. They were definitely much more esoteric, but they were certainly played, and different conceptions existed. This particular guitar actually has 2 extra frets on the 7th string and 3 extra frets kind of up high. And we have a sliding capo that you'll kind of hear throughout the program going this kind of sliding around. So it enables us to stop the 7th string at 5 different points. If you can see here, you see the capo here. Of the 4 guitars, 3 of them are built by actually a Sacramento luthier, Waylon Carpenter. Actually, the one I'm holding and the one that are 2 on the stands were built by Waylon Carpenter, and this one was built by Greg Byers of Willits, California. What makes them all a little bit different is actually the scale length or the string length. And these 2 guitars are kind of basically a standard scale, and they're tuned at E, so the first string is E. But this other guitar here is actually a fret shorter, so the first string is actually an F, if you want to pluck it. And this guitar here is 2 frets shorter, and it's an F sharp. So there obviously are technical and musical possibilities that are quite different. Not only does 7 strings have to offer many other possibilities beyond just having 6, but combined with these kind of transposed guitars, it brings in a lot more color and interest, we believe, as a guitar ensemble. We also, so our main focus has been to do a lot of classical masterworks, and we also do a lot of improvisational works as well. So we make all our own arrangements, all our own literature, and so that's what kind of personalizes what we do. And the fact that we are, family, and Mian has, been my student all along, and there's a kind of a unique connection, I think, that happens between us when we make music together, and it's really quite a beautiful thing that I'm lucky that I can experience in my life.
That is fantastic. And I hope that everybody can get a close shot of the inlay on these guitars as they play them. Well, thank you both for being here. And now it's on with the show. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you.
So for our first set, we'd like to play 2 pieces by the neoclassical composer Eric Satie. Eric Satie particularly kind of broke away from what the standard of music was and returned to a very kind of simplistic forms and simplistic melodies and accompaniment. So the two pieces we'll be playing is a Janopony 1 and his third Nocian.
Yeah, so those pieces we played were by Eric Satie, originally written for the piano that my son Mian here made arrangements for 2 7-string guitars. The next piece I'd like to share with you, this kind of has an ominous kind of quality to the piece. It's called Gloomy Sunday. And for those of you who know this piece, Gloomy Sunday, it was written during the Great Depression around 1936 by Hungarian composer Rezo Szeres. And it's been said that this piece has many suicides associated with it. It's been said that maybe a former girlfriend had committed suicide listening to the record, and there's other people who were found with the sheet music in their hand with Gloomy Sunday, and actually it was banned for quite a few decades from anybody playing this piece. So actually the program's going to end here because this will be the last piece you ever hear. Anyways, just joking. So actually the arrangement I thought would be kind of cool. I actually call this piece Groovy Sunday. I kind of retitled it a little bit. I kind of kept the same theme, and it's in 12/8 meter, and so there's a lot of like 2 against 3 that kind of happens in the piece. So it's kind of a bit more rhythmic, this piece, and we kind of have some improvising in it as well. So it's not quite the dreary piece that people usually associate this with. As a matter of fact, the composer himself actually even jumped out of his apartment window and committed suicide. So, but nothing will happen to you. We've played this many times. People seem to enjoy our new version. So here is Groovy Sunday. This is an arrangement of mine. Thank you. The next set we'd like to share with you is from West Side Story. We made 3 arrangements to kind of get out of this gloomy Sunday business into something much better with love. So most of you are familiar with West Side Story. The music was done by the great Leonard Bernstein. Just really beautiful melodies, very rhythmic, use of modes and so forth. What we've chosen to do for you is to play Maria, the most beautiful sound I've ever heard, Maria. And then, of course, we're Tony and, what's her name again? Bernardo, never mind. So we're also doing Somewhere. And then we end with America, which is a kind of a pretty cool tune, very upbeat. It's actually in 12/8 time, so you get a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. So here's a little set that we actually, me and I think did the first movement, Maria, and then I did the last 2. So hope you enjoy our selections from West Side Story by Leonard Bernstein. Thank you. Before we start our next piece, just wanted to say another thing about this guitar. Although it's 2 frets shorter, the body size actually is 15/16 of full size. So the sound box is just a little bit smaller, so therefore giving a very different color to the overall instrument. And so what's kind of nice is that when you have guitars that are in slightly different ranges, they bring in a lot more coloration to whatever it is that you're doing. So the next piece we'd like to share with you is by one of our favorite composers, Claude Debussy, a great French impressionistic composer. And this is a piece called Reverie. Reverie means like deep in thought. This piece was originally composed for the piano. And it was interesting to note that actually Debussy really hated this piece. And he said that the only reason why he composed it was just sheerly for material gain. We, however, feel completely different about his opinion on the piece and think it's a really beautiful piece of music. So either way, whether Debussy liked this piece or not, or maybe eventually he came around to liking it, but I think this is a really gorgeous piece. So this was originally for the piano that I made an arrangement for 2 guitars. So Reverie by Claude Debussy. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Yeah, if at any point anybody has any questions for us, certainly type them in, and we'd be happy to answer them at any point. To unmute yourself in Zoom? Okay. They can ask a question in Zoom. Okay. Just unmute. Okay, cool. We're okay for now? Okay. The next work we'd like to share with you is an improvisational work. And this is a piece that became quite well known in the 70s by two different artists. So this piece is called Killing Me Softly with His Song. Originally premiered by Lori Lieberman. And then a year later, Roberta Flack did her version of it, the R&B version, which I think became probably a little more well-known. I believe in the 90s it was redone again, and I'm sure it's been played a million times. And we'll do another version. But this is more instrumental, and of course instrumental. And it's basically improvised. So you can hear the basic structure of the tune, but yeah, we wanted to do more kind of a jazz kind of version of this. So here is Killing Me Softly with His Song. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Did I hear a little bit of blank on there?
Just go ahead.
Oh.
The next piece I'd like to play is by the Russian composer, Mussorgsky. We did a selection from his pictures at an exhibition, which is about a 15 movement suite depicting several pictures that his friend Victor Hartmann painted. This was after his death, and so this is kind of his interpretation through, throughout the suite he kind of depicts his interpretation of each of these paintings. The particular movement we'll be playing is the Old Castle. This is kind of a romantic gesture. Yeah, I hope you enjoy.
It's also interesting to note too in this particular work is that it has basically a pedal or a drone throughout the entire piece. So it actually doesn't have functioning harmony in a literal sense. So there's a drone base kind of to this piece, which we really enjoy. So The Old Castle by Mussorgsky. Do we have any questions out there? Yeah, maybe? Okay.
May I ask what Mussorgsky composed the pictures of an exhibition for what sort of instrumentation?
Okay. Mussorgsky. Yeah, so the question is, what did Mussorgsky originally compose pictures on an exhibition for, the instrumentation? And the answer is piano. Interestingly enough, the piece was probably only played maybe a small handful of times, probably for some friends during his lifetime, and then that was it. Around 1930, Maurice Ravel gave a masterful orchestration of the work, and that's what kind of brought that piece into the symphonic literature. Since then, people have played it on all walks of life. As a matter of fact, Vladimir Horowitz played it on the piano, but he did another transcription from the orchestration. So originally went from piano to the orchestra, and then Vladimir Horowitz arranged it for piano again, and it's really quite different. So, another question?
Can you talk about your guitar tone wood types?
Okay, guitar tone wood types. Pretty simple on these. They're actually they're all the same. The soundboard is spruce. They're all spruce top guitars. And the back and sides are all Indian rosewood. And then, of course, the fingerboard is ebony, and then I think the neck is mahogany, I believe. Any other questions? Okay, cool. Thanks for those questions. Makes us feel a little bit more like there's an audience that we can interact with, just besides these friendly people here in the studio. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next piece we'd like to share with you is by Elgar. And he wrote a piece called the Enigma Variations that was originally for orchestra, and there's a series of different variations. And we were going to play one particular selection from that large suite, and it's called Nimrod. And the story behind Nimrod is that Elgar always felt that, I guess he felt a little bit incompetent about his compositional skills, right? I guess we all feel that deep down inside about something. And this friend of his kept encouraging Elgar to keep composing because he really believed in his music and his real power to communicate through music. And so this particular piece, Elgar dedicated to him. So this piece is called Nimrod. Thank you. This is my arrangement.
other questions?
There's me and tunes up here on the F guitar. We're moving over to a composer named Mompou, who lived from 1893 to 1987. Coincidentally, almost exact same time frame as the legendary André Segovia. Mompou actually had written maybe one suite for the guitar during his lifetime, and the majority of his music actually was composed for the piano quite beautifully, and I've always been quite in love with his music, and I've transcribed a lot of it. And we thought we'd play kind of a short piece for you today by Mompou. And the title is Pájaro Triste, which means sad bird. It was said that Mompou actually witnessed a bird singing a 3-note motive. And so throughout this particular piece, you hear dee-do-dum, dee-do-dum, this 3-note motive throughout the entire piece. And that's supposed to be the song of the sad bird that he had heard. So this is Mompou's Pájaro Triste. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. The next two pieces we'll play for you are by the French composer Maurice Ravel, and they're from a suite called Mother Goose. And the Mother Goose suite was originally composed for the piano with 4 hands, and they're based on a bunch of children's tales. So as a matter of fact, it was even said that the level of piano skill that was needed for 4 hands to be able to play the suite actually was that of a child. After that, Ravel made a masterful orchestration, which is pretty mind-boggling, and it's the musicality and the level of expression is pretty far out there to really get the subtleties. After that, he turned it into a ballet, in which he added an extra movement and a bunch of intermezzos, kind of fleshing out the entire suite. We will play two movements from this particular suite. We've just recently transcribed, so these are kind of hot off the grill, so they're brand new. So here's our kind of debut on these pieces. The first piece we'll play for you is called Ladronette, Empress of the Pagodes. And in this particular piece, it's supposed to be about a particular Oriental empress who is amused by little walnut-sized kind of musicians playing, very teeny musical instruments and so forth. And so this piece kind of has a bit of a Oriental kind of feel to it, so to speak. So we'll play this Empress of the Pagodas first, and then we'll discuss the next movement. We'll take a little break because we actually have to switch out guitars. So hope you enjoyed. This is a very playful piece. Thank you. Are we ending at 8:15 or precise? Okay.
It's an hour long. We can go.
Okay, that's fine. Did you guys want to make any announcements too?
Yeah, we're gonna say a few words after you're done playing.
Okay.
The next piece we'll play is the next movement of the suite, titled "The Beauty and the Beast." So the piece starts off with the depiction of the beauty, and after that section is done, it presents the beast kind of theme.
I'll play it better.
And then after that, it follows kind of, there's kind of a dance between the two. And then towards the end of the piece, there's a depiction of the beast turning into a prince. So I hope you enjoy Maurice Ravel's Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you so much, Matthew and Mian, for the wonderful concert, Duo7. If you know of other musicians like you saw tonight, please let us know and contact Ted Fong with any contact information so that we can have them for future performances here at ACC. Mark your calendars for our upcoming concerts in this series. We have Asian Pair coming back on February the 11th, Francesca Anderson and Daniel Rose for a flute and guitar duo on February 26th, and Solanaire for blues and jazz on March 11th. Be sure to check out accsv.org/online for more dates and classes upcoming this quarter. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and have a great evening.